Welcome to Whitefield Academy's State of the School, our annual address in which leadership reflects on our current position and shares key updates on our strategic direction. Each day, we'll explore one of the many exciting ways that Whitefield deepens Christ-centered, transformational learning for each student. In this episode, upper school English and Bible teacher Bo Bowen chats with 10th grade student Parker as they reflect on how learning comes to life through group projects, like the class favorite based on the novel Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Through work like this, students can learn to think deeply, work with others, and go on to college and life confident in what they've learned and grounded in their faith. Take it away, Bo.
So, Parker, will you tell us who you are, what year you're in school, maybe how long you've been at Whitefield?
I'm Parker. I'm in 10th grade, and I've been at Whitefield since 6th grade.
All right. Well, Parker, you were in my honors English class last year. Do you remember like a particular conversation or a moment in class, in my class in particular, where either something we read or something we were discussing like clicked with you?
I really liked when we started with the Fahrenheit 451 because I thought it was like interesting and relevant to like today and like technology and all that. And I liked the essay for that because I thought it was interesting and could like relate to now.
Do you remember kind of some of the stuff that you argued in your essay?
I think I talked about how as we get more technology, we have less community and like with people around us.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. Okay. What are some things maybe that throughout the class you were challenged to think more deeply about?
Well, I feel like it was different for each book because they were all so different. But I think, especially when we did the Odyssey and having to do the creative writing, I thought that was good and like prepared me for this year because we have to handwrite them now. And I just think that you were good because you like gave us all like the resources, and I still have like all my essays from last year to help me them this year.
All right. Oh, it makes me feel good. So what's it like having teachers who want to know not just answers from you, but want to know how you think and what your opinions are? How does that what's it like to have teachers that care about your opinions, not just care about you giving the right answer?
I think it's really good because especially for you, like, because you let us come in for extra help, and I feel like you really worked with us on like what we wanted to say and like how to say it right versus like just the right thing. And I think that even like Mr. Arnold, like I think he really cares about us like saying things in a way that makes the most sense, but also
wants it to be kind of honest.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so I really like that. And I think that you can really tell, especially with English, that you guys care because there's always so many people like asking questions for the essays and stuff. So I think it's really helpful.
What's one of your favorite memories from my class? Whether academically or just all the many times y'all hung out in there.
I really like when we did the House on Mango Street, like not skits, but you know,
the vignettes.
Like when we wrote the scripts and we performed it in the class.
Yeah. Okay. Talk more about that because that one's almost kind of vague in my mind.
So we got one of the chapters for the from the book, and we wrote like a script kind of like Inside Out where we like each person was a different emotion.
I remember that.
And then we like performed it.
That was a good assignment. I didn't do that this year. I need to bring that back. Yeah, that was fun. I remember that. Why did you like that so much? What was fun about that to you?
Well, I remember my group was really fun, and it was just interesting because we got like props to like dress up, and I thought it was like an interesting perspective because Esperanza?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like it was interesting to like think about how she's thinking because the book is all about her experiences. So I just thought it like was good.
What are your memories from the Lord of the Flies game, other than that you're disappointed that your team came in second?
Yeah, well, it was really fun, and I liked it because it encouraged us to like read for like the details and not just like read it to like finish it. And I thought it was fun to like do the writing for it too because it helped almost to like think about what I wanted to write about for my essay. And it was just fun because also we got to like I think you picked the groups, so we got to like talk with other people, like, because I didn't have any, like, my really good friends in my group. So
That was by design.
yeah.
Okay, Parker, so you are a semester into your sophomore year. So you've been an upper school student for a good year and a half. How do you think you've changed since day one of freshman year to now?
I think I'm definitely more open to talking to my teachers, because I feel like when you're like a freshman, like first day in high school, it's really scary sometimes to like be in those new classes. But I think like, especially over freshman year, like I talked to you and my other teachers. So I think that, and also I just think I'm more confident in my work, because I remember like my first essay, I was like really scared about what I would get, because it's like every English teacher kind of grades differently. But I think I've been more confident in that and like more able to ask questions to my teachers. And also I just grown closer to like my friends and all the people in our grade too.
Awesome. My name is Bo Bowen. I have been at Whitefield for 5 years. I came as the 9th grade literature and composition teacher. I still teach that today, primarily the honors class. Last year, I transitioned to also teaching in the Bible department. So I teach the Bible 11, which is better known as Christian Thought. So I kind of split my time between the Bible department and the English department. So when I think about teaching, and I think about why a relationship matters in whatever I teach, the first thing is that we go back to that old saying of no one is ever going to listen to what you say until they know that you care about them. And so it is important for me that my students know that I care not just about them, but about the subject. And so one of the things that most students will say is that they may have, it may not be their favorite subject, reading literature or writing papers, but they can never say that I'm indifferent to them learning it and being excited about it, because I bring an excitement and an eagerness to it. And it's really the only way I know how to teach, is to be up in front, trying to get the students as excited as I am on the subject matter. And some days they get there, and some days I am the only one who's excited, but that's okay. But with regard to that, the other thing I would say about the importance of relationship is that a student who is connected to their teacher is more apt to trust the teacher that what they are telling them isn't just right and factual, but is valuable. If I care about it and I'm eager about it, they will recognize that there must be something to it, and they're going to take it a little bit more seriously. Sometimes that happens class-wide, but sometimes that happens one-on-one. But that is the hope. The more that you begin to see students sort of like a click, especially since I teach a lot of freshmen in English, when you start to see it click for them and they realize, okay, what this guy's saying is not just the standard teacher information that every teacher is supposed to download to their students, but this is something that's important not just for here in this classroom, but for my entire academic career, my life. That I think is why a relationship matters. They got to feel like they're connected to you and trust you. When I sit with students one-on-one, I receive all kinds of insight into students in general and that student in particular. Sometimes it's not always a great thing, because you notice they're dealing with a lot of insecurity. They're dealing with a lot of self-doubt. They're dealing with a lot of negative mindset, maybe not about themselves personally, but certainly about their academic abilities. Even the students who make great grades and are actually, kind of show themselves to be pretty natural at analysis and even in writing. Not that they can't improve, but they're pretty good at it. You still see a sense of almost, is this good? So it's interesting that when you sit with students one-on-one and you talk with them, say, about their paper, or you're going over a test with them, one of the things I've had to learn that didn't come naturally to me was the importance of encouraging them in the midst of coaching them on a particular analytical skill, or here's why this section of the test proved difficult for you. But to make sure that I give them the encouragement that you can do this. You just didn't do it this time, or you just have a ways to go. But this is a growing thing. So much of going to school is thought of and is in making the grade. And in a way, we sometimes maybe have done a disservice to students because we've made it into sort of a points thing. And I'm not sure there's a way around that. It's just the way of the world. But we can at least also make classrooms a place where students can be transformed to think in new ways or wrestle with new ideas, even as they are also doing these formative assessments. My interactive project on Lord of the Flies, one of my favorite and certainly one of the students' favorites, is a project I do when we read the novel Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I created a project that essentially combined them doing their reading in segments, taking a quiz on it, but then turning that aspect into a game that was sort of a role-playing game. So essentially, in a nutshell, students are put into groups, and as we read the different chapters of Lord of the Flies, we have these rounds of a game in which they are in the same scenario, essentially, where they are marooned on a deserted island with about 15 other people. They have to imagine like the 4 or 5 of them are with this group, and they have to survive. And I've created sort of a weird role-playing game where I give them scenarios. There's a storm coming. There's monkeys from the jungle have stolen your supplies, or you've lost a little kid. What are you going to do? And the goal is that they try to keep as many people alive and healthy as possible. And they have all these different steps they have to do each class. But they also have to use some of the conflicts that we've discussed in the book, and leadership methods, and even morality-based dilemmas in these scenarios that they draw. And so one of the ways that they score points is to answer thoughtfully and creatively and consider all the ramifications of a particular scenario. Think through things from a different perspective. That's why it helps to put them in groups. If they were doing this individually, it would be their one opinion. And so I think the way it shapes them beyond the classroom is, first of all, it makes them work in groups. And some students love it, and some students can't stand working in groups. And without fail, there will be some students after school, Mr. Bowen, I hate my group. They're not working. They're not doing this. And I have to tell them, I go, well, welcome to the world, because you will be on teams. You'll serve on a staff somewhere or on a crew. Or in college, you're going to be in groups, and you're going to have to work with people who work differently than you, maybe have a little bit of apathy that you're going to have to work past, but you're only as strong as your weakest link. So there's a need. I try to push the inspiration back on them to say, what can you do to engage with that person? That's one way that they grow. The other way is, again, creative thinking, problem solving, thinking through a response before you submit that response, to go, okay, I think this is the way that we should respond, but this might be knee-jerk. What could go wrong? So in other words, really thinking through the way that you respond to problems is important. The state of the upper school is alive. If you were to just look at a beehive, you would probably think it looked very chaotic and going in 1,000 different ways. But in reality, the bees are working toward a singular purpose. They're all engaged and serving a role. And that, I think, is what's going on in the upper school, that they're working toward a purpose, whether they are an administrator, a teacher, or the students. And it can look chaotic. It can seem chaotic. There can be a lot of noise, a lot of buzzing. But ultimately, not only are they working to that purpose, but that purpose is something sweet.